again, the sun's come out. There's a little drizzle as well, so it means that it's both, going to be wet, but also it's going to be cool, and also there's going to be the sun. It's very good weather for playing football in Afraha Stadium, especially the third qualifying match. It's Sharks. If you'd like, the Kariobangi Sharks. They eat anything, including lions. And today, they are arranging how to eat Simbas of Tanzania. I understand that neighboring animals are usually sweeter than the animals you eat at home. So Kariobangi Sharks is already preparing itself for exactly that at Afraha Stadium. But they are trying to eat a lion that has been existed for so long and that has won so many accolades, including playing in the CAF Champions League, having won the Sekafa Cup as well, having won the Tanzania Cup as well. They are just a very experienced lion. Will they outwit the Sharks on land? Because that's where this is being played. Let's get the conversation going. Our Twitter handle is at SportPesa Super Cup. Let's talk and let's hear what you have to say about this. Give us your opinions as well as we continue into the other quarterfinal match of the SportPesa Super Cup. I am joined by a man who himself would be a very difficult lion to eat if he was ever one, who's going to take us through this match as well. Jacob Gosmule, former coach of Harambee Stars, former coach of AFC Leopards, former coach of also Kariobangi Sharks. And he's here for this match as well. What do you think about today's encounter on the field?
Well, it's a very tight game, Bernard. It's just like a repeat of yesterday because yesterday we had a big gun in Yanga. They were sent home by Kakamega Homeboys. Now, this is another big game. Simba Sports Club, the champions of Uganda, they are facing a number 3 finish, Kariobangi Sharks, who finished 3rd last year. But now they are just on the 7th position on the log. They started not so well, but they done so well now to come into position 7. So this is not an easy match as far as the two teams are concerned.
Now that you mentioned what happened yesterday as well, and with Kakamega Homeboys, we might as well just recap there. What a match those boys had. They really were running and they really took the fight to Yanga FC. Is this the scoreline that you expected? There was an earlier goal by the veteran, Alan Wanga.
Well, I think Kakamega Homeboys came here with one mind. They did not have respect for Yanga, and that is why this tournament is very important for all the teams that play here. Alan Wanga showed his prowess in terms of the goals he scored. He was very calm during the penalty, and also Kakamega were not finishing this game. They kept on the pressure on Yanga, scored the 3rd goal. They would have scored the 4th goal if it's not for the goalkeeper for Yanga, who at least made a very nice save towards the end of the game. So Kakamega already setting a place in the semi-final, waiting for whoever is going to win this afternoon here.
Wycliffe Opondo scored the 3rd goal. Then the Gor Mahia versus Jeshi la Kuangamiza la Kujenga Uchumi game. And the Gor Mahia side here were reigning supreme. They really commanded literally everything. All the statistics were in favor of the reigning Kenyan champions.
Well, I like the interview from the coach because it was like the coach of JKU was talking before the game like they also are a good side. But they should know that Gor Mahia is participating in the CAF Confederations group stage, and that gives them a big pedigree. That is why they look like they had a training session in this game.
Well, I'll tell you, the coach had to eat 3 helpings of humble pie after that because he said, well, they were just a better side. Medi Kagere came in as a substitute to score yet another goal for Gor Mahia. So that's the scoreline that we had yesterday. Kakamega Homeboys 3 and Yanga 1, a goal that was scored by Simeon. And then Gor Mahia 3-0 with goals scored in spectacular fashion. We've got other matches that are being played today. Kariobangi Sharks is playing Simba. That is right here for you live. And then tomorrow, the AFC Leopards side will take on a side they beat in last year's competition, Singida United. And they will be again encountering that side to see whether or not they can be able to get the better of them. So put that in your diary. Get ready for the matches tomorrow as well. But let's go to this one at the moment with the Simba Sports Club side taking on the Homeboys. No, not the Homeboys, but Kakamega. Not the Kakamega Homeboys, but the Homeboys called K Sharks. They're also from home.
Well, this is a very interesting fixture in the sense that Simba, having finished the Tanzanian League, winning 29 games, lost only 1 during the last day of the league, come here oozing with a lot of confidence. They came into Nakuru last Thursday. That shows you the seriousness that they want to go to Goodison Park. I think psychologically with all the teams that have come here, Simba are more focused, and that's why Sharks also is a very good side. However, they are facing their biggest match today.
So you're thinking that, you know, Goodison Park is a very good motivation for both sides, and you're thinking that Simba looks more motivated, having arrived ahead of everybody else, to be able to prepare for this game.
That shows you that they have taken the tournament so serious, and they have their top players coming in here. Only John Boko, who is injured, is not come. Okwi also played for Uganda, the friendly match, international friendly in Niger. He might be coming later, and if Simba wins today, then they will, of course, need Okwi in the next game.
Need his services as well. Okay, let's find out then who's going to be in the match, because the Sharks side also claiming they've got 4 of their players in the Kenya national team, so they are not available. So these are the men that will be putting on that field today. They've got John Oyemba, Pascal Ogueno. He scored a goal for a team before. Michael Bodo, Eric Juma. Well, Fidel Origa, Duke Abuya, Van Yida, Eric Kapaito, who's the highest scorer on that side, and they've got that Makiro midfielder called Harrison Mwendwa. That's not a bad team that the Kariobangi Sharks side is putting in. It's actually the best that they can afford to bring in under the circumstances.
In terms of organization in the Kenya Premier League, Sharks have put their foot forward. They are very organized, and when they start with such a lineup with Eric Kapaito as their top marksman, I think they will give Simba a run for their money.
Well, Simba do have money. It's good to run after that as well. So we hope that K-Sharks will be able to catch up. They'll be swimming for Simba's money, rather, the Kariobangi Sharks side. But let's look at individually, because there are players who make an impact individually. Duke Abuya is going to be in the midfield because he's got to stop what is going on with the Simba side, but he's also got to provide up front for the Sharks to try and make goals. Do you think he's going to have a very big impact?
He's been around Sharks. He's one of the instrumental players in that side. And when you look at how he plays, I also sometimes wonder why he's not had a national team call-up. Now that we have a new coach, could be Duke Abuya's performance in this, could be knocking doors at the national team. Yes, the coach is not around. He's somewhere in India. But, of course, he has other eyes that are watching these players, and I think Duke Abuya, for me, has been overlooked in the national team.
I always knew that the coach has more eyes than 2, but yeah, they might as well spot Duke Abuya there. The essence is that there's going to be a lot of running in that midfield, and again, if they have to score goals, then they've got to feed the strikers, and that means Eric Kapaito, who has scored 6 goals in the Kenyan Premier League for the side, needs to be fed, and he needs to convert the goals.
Well, Kapaito is a finisher. He was in South Africa before he was signed up by Talanta. Then Sharks actually signed him before his contract expired in Talanta. They showed interest. They knew this man would get them goals. So far, he has made 6 goals in the league. And I think this is the man that really the Simba back form need to keep a very keen eye on if they are supposed to go into the semi-finals.
Yeah, he usually does finish. He's a mercurial finisher as well. Sometimes just needing somebody who's going to be feeding him. And I think that's what you're talking about, the midfielders and in particular Duke Abuya.
Well, when you have a player of Kapaito's nature, then you are very relaxed as a coach, because you know if everything doesn't work, then there is the individual prowess that Kapaito can provide.
Okay. Now, this will sound very familiar to you. Wekundu wa Msimbazi. Very intimidating. 17 times Tanzanian League winners. They have won Sekafa as well 3 times. They have won Nyerere Cup 3 times. They have won many other cups in that country. They've been in the CAF Champions League as well, in the Conference Cup as well. The history speaks very well about Wekundu wa Msimbazi. Simba FC. They are here as well.
You forgot to say they were the first team to qualify for Champions League group stage. And that time, they had the late Sianga as their coach. They come here with a pedigree like no any other team in this tournament. So looking at Simba, really, and having arrived here very early last Thursday, they have shown you that they are not only champions in Tanzania, I think their eyes are set to be in Goodison Park.
They want to go to Everton.
Yes.
You know, it's a beautiful place. It's just about 3 miles from Liverpool, so it's not too far from there, which it has its own fuss as well. It has hosted very many things first. But let's look at the team sheet that might take this Simba side to Goodison Park, and we see who they're putting in there. Now, you will notice that 2 of the very mercurial players are not there. Emmanuel Okwi and John Boko, between them, have scored 34 goals. They're not going to be here. But listen to these names. There's Aish Manula, there's Ali Shumari, Mohamed Hussein, Paul Bukavu, there's Yusuf Mlipili, Erasto Nyoni, Jonas Mkude, Shomari Kapombe. Now, Mohamed Rashid Ibrahim Mohamed, and also the Rwandese Haruna Niyonzima. This would easily pass for a military army that is going for a war that they must win, and they usually do win their wars, don't they?
Well, it's a team that has a pedigree. It's a team that has a good record in the Tanzanian league. And also, they have a coach that is very experienced in African football. I mean, the Frenchman.
Pierre Lechant.
Yes, Pierre Lechant is somebody that is very experienced. So when you look
remember,
at
he won the Cup of Nations with Cameroon.
Yes.
And he talked about having come to Kenya with the Congo team as well.
Now that shows you why he nearly finished the Tanzanian league unbeaten. They were beaten on the last day because they were over celebrating and they lost in front of the president of Tanzania. But however, that is history already gone. I think the coach wants to make new history going to Everton.
Yeah, get the conversation going. The hashtag is SportPesa Super Cup. That's where the Twitter handle is at as well. The idea is to look at individual players now. Aish Manula, this is a name that is so synonymous with good goalkeeping in East Africa, in CECAFA championships, you name it. He's always there.
Well, when you look at keepers, you'll first look at his height. He has a 6-something, and that is a requirement for you to play at the top level. And Aish Manula has experience. He brings a lot of experience, having played for Taifa Stars or Kilimanjaro Stars. Now, that is the man that Kapaito must be able to beat, and the rest of Kariobangi Sharks players, for them to be in the semi-final.
You should also look at the number of goals that he conceded. There weren't that many compared to what they scored at the national, in the team during the league games. And that tells you the pedigree that he's got.
Well, the confidence that Manula brings in that team, and also just his body frame, it shows you that during corner play, then you need to have a taller striker to be able to beat him. But he has made a good name for himself. So I think with that, they're good to go.
Right, so the goalkeeper to stop the shots. They've scored goals as well in the Premier League. Although the two top scorers are not there, they still have Aruna Niyonzima.
Well, this is a former Rwandese captain. He has won accolades with different teams. He brings in a lot of experience in the side. He could not have the same speed that he had because he's played for many years for different clubs. However, he's very instrumental in the absence of Okwi. He's one of the players that will guide how the midfield and how the attack is going to behave in this game. Do
you think he would love to go to Everton?
He's
Goodison Park.
Bernard, let me tell you, every player's dream right now is to go and play where Rooney plays. And I will tell you, Niyonzima knows the tricks on how to play international football. He'll bring his first game on this one.
That will be the expectation then on Aruna Niyonzima, the Rwandese national who's playing on the Simba side. Where are we going now, Director? So, yes, it's going to be a very, very good game for the side. But we talked to the coaches earlier on. We expect that they're going to do very well, but the coaches always have another story altogether to give us. And I talked to Lechant Ali about the game. Also talked to the Sharks coach as well earlier about the game today. And the Sharks coach was oozing confidence on his preparation.
The match itself, I'll say it's a motivational factor actually, because many of them, they haven't played with any team, I'll say, outside the country. But I like to consider it as also one of the matches we normally play in our Kenyan league.
What about the fact that the winner goes to Goodison Park to play Everton? How has that impacted on how the players will perform today?
If you look at what is at stake, and being the trip to England, of course, it sparks a lot of energy in the boys because they like to have that experience. They really like to have that, but for them to have it, it depends with the 90 minutes. But the energy is there, of course, we can see it with what is at stake.
A couple of factors will work for you as well. The altitude will work for you as well. The fact that the Kenyan League is still on. Have you used that to be able to craft a system for today?
I'll say we didn't look at all those logistics, but we did prepare our team to a level whereby we can do it with whatever circumstances that may arise. So we do believe that the preparation itself will speak a lot.
They also say that you have 4 of your players missing in the team. Is that going to impact?
Them missing, I think it's an inspirational to those who will be playing. They like to step into their shoes, of course, as big as they could be, but it will be an inspiration for those who will be playing.
Well, Coach William Muluya is oozing confidence here. He didn't want to betray any emotions. He looked like he was bottled up a little bit, but he says he's looking at this game as just another game that they have to play. Is that a good motivation? Is that a good way for a coach to look at things?
If you wait for Muluya to talk seriously, you will wait forever. Last year, he qualified for the Premier League for the first time. He finished a respectable third. And that's the way he talked the whole season. So even this game, I like such a coach. He gets the pressure of the players. He gets the pressure himself. But when he talks, he's as cool as a cucumber.
Cucumber. Again, the the vegetables must always come in there. But yes, he's one of the coaches, just giving his side of the story. You know, it's always two teams that are playing here. And the other coach is a very experienced coach, 68 years old. Pierre Luchant is the coach of the Simba side. I spoke to him earlier and I asked him about his preparation for this game. He first of all just expressed gratitude to be in this beautiful country that also is the home of SportPesa. This is what he had to say.
It was a very great pleasure to come in Kenya. But I remember that I come with the national team in Congo one year ago when we lost 2-1 and we lost the qualification for the African Cup. I remember. But every time it's a pleasure because the people are very kind and it's a pleasure to come in Kenya. About the tournament, we have particularly in the attack because Okwe and Boko and Lodi is my three attackers. They are not here, and they are 70% of goal during the league. That means that we have not a big offensive power for this game, and it's difficult sometimes to play without attacker.
And any of the teams that you have seen in the tournament that you think are very tough?
Yes. Yesterday I saw the team of which name? Sorry. Yes, a very good team. I can't believe that. Very good striker, good defense. I will call my friend in France and I will tell him, please come to see the tournament because you have a lot of very good players and this player can play easy in Europe in the first league.
What about Germaya? Did you see them as well?
Yes. I spoke with about this team. Very good team. Very good team. A lot of very good players. And I see also that the coach made a good job because about tactical system, this team is very good.
So do you think Simba wins this one?
When it wins, Simba win. Inshallah.
That's a very amiable coach. When it rains, he says Simba wins. But he also says he's calling a coach in France. Now, does that tie in very nicely with the objective of this tournament by SportPesa to be able to expose young talent? Is it already reaping results, this Super Cup, SportPesa Super Cup?
The ultimate prize is to go to Goodison Park. However, there are many eyes here who are also eyeing other players. If you don't make it to Goodison, maybe the first game that you play, somebody else could be here. Scouts are scouting for different purposes. And I think what he intimates is that he will call his friend from France. That shows you a coach of his pedigree has already seen what this tournament is all about.
So he'll call his friend in France to go to Everton to watch this team that goes there and get some new talent. Is it that what is going to happen?
Well, it's something that will be decided in 90 minutes here between the two sides. But on pedigree, on paper, he starts like he has what it takes.
Brilliant. So, Jacob, you know, that's why I called you director and asked you, where do we go from here? Because, you know, a game that has so much statistics sometimes can be confusing. Who do you think is taking this game today?
I don't want to be a prophet of doom. I love Sharks. I love Simba. However, looking at paper, looking at what Simba has put forward in this game, I think they have a high chance of winning this one.
The Simba side?
Yes.
But you love animals altogether?
Of course.
Thank you very much. Jacob Cosplay, former coach of Harambee Stars of Kenya, giving us his opinion of what the game should be like. And yes, it can only be decided in 90 minutes. That's what we are going to at the moment. Simba versus Sharks, live from the Afraha Stadium in the SportPesa Super Cup in the race for Everton.